Dr. Kemi for Kemi Talks Media. It's Saturday, the 6th of September, 2025. Let's talk about Sujimoto versus the Enugu government and the EFCC. There is a poster that's going around of Suji on this wanted EFCC thing, and I just thought that was outrageous. People, let's discuss this afternoon because I saw some very disturbing things as a retired investigative journalist and as a PR specialist that was done on the Enugu state government and the EFCC part of it. Now, here's a young businessman that we all know very well that is involved in luxurious real estate. The luxury real estate company that he founded has a lot of good works behind him. And he's only 44 years old. These are people that we watched with their startups and they built empires. Now, the EFCC and the Enugu government wants to collapse that empire. I was just stunned because for you to be on a poster, that says a lot of anger for a government and a government parastatal. This is not a civil case like a client. These are governments. And this is the reason why many investors are not coming to Nigeria to invest because of stuff like this. Reading the story, what I devised from the whole story was, number one, there's a lot of defamation on that poster, okay? I'm sorry, I have to do this video outside, and I'm even in a construction area as well. There's a lot of defamation in that poster that shouldn't have been. Today, we talk about social media narratives and social media exposure. We tell you that if your business is not on social media, it doesn't exist. But you put the business and the person of Sujimoto on a wanted poster, which has gone international. Anything you post on social media is international. It's not domestic. It's not local. There are investors, there are builders, there are many people who have seen these posters around the world. And the EFCC did wrong in that respect. The Enugu government petitioning the EFCC and even putting this guy on a poster is extremely wrong. This is why Nigerians are their own worst enemies. Now, the backdrop of the story, when I looked at the backstory, what I saw was the Enugu government accusing Sujimoto of running away with their 5.7 billion naira that they put down as, I think it said 50%, to build smart schools for Enugu. And I love the whole idea of smart schools, 22 smart schools. They even posted the picture on the statement. And all the buildings were like half built, something of the sort. Now, when I went to the blog, I was reading the statement that the Commissioner for Education of Enugu put out. And I want you to know this as a PR specialist, whenever a company, okay, or a government or an entity puts out a statement, that means they don't want to talk. They don't want to have a news conference. They don't have time for it, or it's not convenient at all. So they put out a statement. Now, some things like this should be done behind closed doors because you damage a lot of people. Sujimoto, a 44-year-old Ogundele, has hired like almost 800 people in his company. He has created jobs. I mean, we're not talking about ordinary real estate here. Okay, I've only been to Banana Island once. And when I entered there, I made sure I saw everything. Like a whole lot of buildings in there. He's the one building it. Look at that one that Tiwa Savage lives in. I saw that one too. I think it's called Lucretia. I can't pronounce these things, but this young man has done a lot of work. He's bringing the prototype of Dubai to Nigeria. And that's another place I haven't been to. I haven't been to the UAE. Everything I know about Dubai was online on the internet. He's bringing this prototype to Nigeria. And he's one of us. Okay, when I was growing up in Nigeria, I'm 61 years old. We had Capa d'Alberto, we had Julius Berger, we had a lot of foreign companies, and they were always foreign. Now we have our own. We have Shijibomi, Ogundele, Sujimoto, and we're doing this. And you want us to come back home to Nigeria and invest in the country, and we're destroying our own? Do you know how many architects, engineers, and so on and so forth in America, in Canada, that are Nigerians that are even thinking of going home because President Tinubu wants us to come and invest and come and do this, come and do that. And they now see Suji on the poster. They're not going to come to Nigeria. They're not going to invest. Look at the Naira. The Naira has plummeted like mad that you can't even do business with it. When I went to see one of my clients in Ghana, you know what? He said, I want to sell my products in Nigeria because you guys are 250 million. I told him that don't get into the Nigerian market yet because of the Naira. Okay, if you know what the CDs to Naira rate was, okay, it's been bad. CDs to Naira, excuse me, Naira to CDs, but the CDs to Naira might be a little bit more for them, but it doesn't work that way because everything is still traded at the end of the day in dollars. The economy has collapsed. And Suji said in his own post something of the sort of, let me look here. He said something in this post I read on Instablog. It's a video that the economy being collapsed. Hold on. The economy has collapsed, and so it's affecting a lot of things. I'm just like pulling it up now, guys. It's affected a lot of things like prices of goods and services. And okay, I wrote this down from his video, and he burst into tears. Guys, that one got me. This young man was reduced to tears by Enugu state government and the EFCC. I mean, let's face it, whatever has happened between him and the government, it's really that poster that's really talked. And I think that Mr. Olukoyede, who's the chairman of the EFCC, should have restrained on putting that poster out. It was just wrong. Olukoyede should not even tell me that the poster went out without his permission. Nothing like that should have gone out. You damaged the guy. I will be surprised if he doesn't sue you guys. Hey, you guys are all right. All right, what I wrote here in my write-up was that I featured this guy in January 2025 in my top 3 real estate moguls in Nigeria. Yes, I did. You guys remember that. I'm reading from my Facebook. And to see him reduced to tears broke my heart because that actually tells you of a component of somebody telling the truth. All right? Now, at the end of the day, the Naira has plummeted. The dollar is gaining too much against the Naira. And he's a hardworking entrepreneur who has employed over 800 people working hard day and night, building projects that can stand international standards. That's the key there. Who is building these buildings? International standards. All the buildings you see in Victoria Island, Ikoyi, all those high-rise, FAMFA. You know FAMFA, Mrs. Alaki just building. Who can build all those things? JB is foreigners that we bring in all the time. Now we have a Nigerian national, who is building with international standards. The economy going bad on everybody, including him. Anything might have happened. We don't know. Okay, but for Nigerians to think Sujimoto went to Enugu to build just a 5 billion Naira school is a joke. Okay, he's not said his part. People, wake up. This is why some foreign builders are not willing to invest in Nigeria anymore, aside from the dollar. These bad business practices. There were a lot of defamatory and false accusation narratives they naively put out there on this young man. It's not fair. Governor Mba released a statement via his information commissioner, blatantly accused this guy of running away with the money. I mean, this is bad, bad, bad. Nigerians, I don't know what to say, but I want your opinion under this video, okay? The EFCC will say they're just doing their job, right? Okay, so I hear that he's going to the EFCC on Monday or next week somewhere with his lawyer to kind of see what's going on, blah, 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 blah. But this is not the end of it. I'm going to follow this. Now, you remember Naira Marley when he was arrested? You know how I followed up on that, the way they delayed his shorties and things. And then, who was next? Momfa was next. The way they seized Momfa's watches. I told you yesterday that the EFCC is, this is what I want you, my fans, to think about any parastatal in Nigeria, whether it's EFCC, whether it's police, whether it's anyone. One bad agent does not put the whole agency as bad. Okay, one bad police officer does not make MPF bad. Okay, but it's the same thing I want you to do with the EFCC. People that work during Magu's era and Bauer's era may not be the same people working in Olukoyede's era. They could be the same, they could be doing the same things, but the EFCC itself needs to be revamped. And I will follow up on this case very close with you, the way I followed all the others. And then, of course, I said Monfa, I said Naira Marley. What about VDM? I followed his too. So, this is not an issue of justice for Sujimoto or anything. This is a business practice that needs to be clarified before you run out putting statements out and putting people on wanted posters. For Suji, stay strong wherever you are, but I know this guy will be vindicated, and it'll tell a lot about doing business with the Nigerian government, state or federal. Thanks for watching.